Hello and welcome back to the Empowered Exit Podcast. I'm Rita Oliver, your host, the CEO and president of Strategies, Options, and Solutions, the Money Strategist. And I help high-earning professionals, business owners to close their financial gaps and leaks, build financial resilience, and create their retirement roadmap. You know, here at SOS, we believe and we help you to do three things. That is to plan it, to build it, and live it with confidence. Welcome back here to the Empowered Exit Podcast. Retire boldly, live fully, and leave a legacy. Absolutely. You know, I am so excited to do this podcast today because I have been thinking and some things came through in what I've been learning in the mornings when I get up. And it came to me that I wanted to do this podcast on this particular topic. And it's an important topic. You know, you've heard me talk about everything that I've done here with finances, and I'm going to do so much more when it comes to that and with retirement. And I've had two expert-led conversations related to retirement, one on prenups, and then one just recently on innovative housing solutions for seniors, because housing is a huge cost in retirement. But I want to go deeper. I want to stop scratching the surface and I want to go deeper with you. Today's podcast is entitled Repeating What You Haven't Repaired. Repeating what you haven't repaired. So I'm excited to talk about this. You know, if you are new to the show, please subscribe. Please share this with a bestie, with a friend, with a colleague who needs some clarity and confidence on their new journey in 2026 as they address their finances. So what I want to talk about is going to go deep today because it's going to speak to the truth behind so many financial struggles, even for among high-earning professionals. And you know, I said in a video earlier this week on social media, high-earning professionals, I asked the question, why high-earning professionals are having trouble with money or something like that. And I clarified and I said, I want you all to understand. Yes, I'm saying high-earning professionals have an issue. It was about living paycheck to paycheck. It's coming back to me now. I've done so much this week. And because people think when people make more money, they're not living paycheck to paycheck. That is not true. It is just not on a lower socioeconomic status. Not at all, not at all, not at all. People making $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year living paycheck to paycheck. They are struggling in the cycle. They're struggling in it all. I was listening to a podcast the other morning, and I heard it on CNBC that we're in a K-shaped economy where you have people that are at the top of the K. And I looked it up here on my phone because I'm going back to economics class here. It's a divergent economy where different groups experience vastly different fortunes, creating a K-shape on a graph. The top arm rises, the wealthy thrive with asset growth and strong spending, while the bottom arm falls. Lower income households struggle with inflation, stagnant wages, and rising debt, which means high earners benefit from the booming stock market and tech sector, while essential workers and the poor face affordability crisis. But the bottom line is in this economy today, It doesn't matter rich or poor, depending your level. And for high earners and those in the lower socioeconomic, affordability is an issue for all now. It is. But today we're going to speak truth to power because, as I said, the title is simple: repeating what you haven't repaired. And I'm going to go deep because I'm going to tell you more about me. I grew up watching people in rural Mississippi survive on low income, fix Social Security checks. I watched the stress. I watched the limitations. I watched the fear of running out of money. I saw that in my hometown. But one thing my parents did is they planted a vision in me that I could be more. And I did become more. My parents were not rich, but they were rich financially. They took care of us very well. 5 children, a home, had 2 cars. They saved money, all of that. They bought their house in 1965, a FHA house that cost $9,000. And my parents at that time put down 40% down payment. Now I'm going to touch some nerves right here, right now, but this is the truth. When we talk about repeating what you haven't repaired, we got people today making a whole lot more money than my parents, and they can't come up with a down payment at all. Okay? Making a whole lot more money. But that is a true story. That's part of that K economy there. So as I said, I grew up watching people with the fixed incomes as they were older, getting Social Security or whatever for retirement. But my parents planted that vision in me to become more, and I did become more. Earned my finance degree at Mississippi State University, earned my MBA at Amberton University here in Texas, where I live now. And I also was a high earning audit director in the federal government. But even with all the education and the income, I still found myself in debt cycles more than once. And so are you. You're in these debt cycles more than once. And in this K economy, you will either be able to survive or you're going to be able to thrive. And most people are trying to survive in this because affordability, housing, cars, just basic living essentials is a huge issue now. It is. And this is why I'm talking about it today, because we got to get to the root. My business, this Empowered Exit podcast, newsletter, everything I do is rooted in authenticity. Backbone of this movement is financial resilience. Absolutely. Yes, it is. Financial resilience and clarity. If you're not clear, ain't nothing you can do. What are the songs that Jimmy Cliff, he said, I can see clearly now that the rain is gone. We are not seeing clearly out here because we have not repaired the patterns underneath. Not because we don't know better, not because you're not disciplined, but you have not repaired the patterns underneath. And that's the truth that most people never talk about. People repeat what has not been repaired. People repeat what has not been repaired. And that is financially, emotionally, behaviorally. It is. That is the truth. You can earn more money and still repeat the same spending patterns. For me, I found myself in and out of the debt cycles until I repaired what I needed to. You can pay off debt and still fall back into it. And that's what happens with most Americans today. That is what's going on in their lives. You save for a while, if you can, and then you stop. Because if that debt is too high, that's why you're stopping. You can avoid your accounts for months, try to ignore stuff. And you can want a better plan for retirement and still you're not planning for it. And part of that problem is because you are not because you're irresponsible, but because the root hasn't been repaired. The root hasn't been repaired. Repair is not mindset alone. Repair is behavior. Repair is structure. Repair is clarity. Repair is action. We talk a whole lot of stuff out here about what we're going to do. We're going to do this. I'm going to get my mindset. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be consistent. Until you put some action behind this, it means nothing and nothing is going to get done. That's why you are repeating the same things financially, because what the root is not repaired. It's not repaired, not at all. So we got to go deep and beyond the surface here to get to the root of the problem, to repair it. And that requires action. Everything requires action. Everything requires action. If you want to be more confident, it's got to be action. You want to be clarity, you got to have some action here. Because see, you cannot repair what you cannot see, and you cannot repair or change what you don't understand. So to tell you how I help people to do that, I created the Financial Confidence Accelerator. Not a budgeting program, not a lecture. It's not a try harder plan. It's a guided, supportive 30-day process that helps you to close those financial gaps, strengthen that financial resilience. Because for some of us here now, if we have an emergency, it's going to shake it to the core. It's going to shake it to the core. It's going to be a tsunami in your household. And we also help you to build that retirement vision. You know, you all don't have a retirement vision nor a roadmap. You got to have a vision to do a roadmap. You all have some pieces, but you don't have a path. Pieces, but no path. But above all, we've got to repair the root to stop repeating the cycle. When you stop repeating the cycle, you build confidence. When you build confidence, you create a financial life you can actually live in with peace, intention, and dignity. Right information, right support for the right strategy. Clarity to confidence to control of your cash flow. That's what it is. That's where you got to get. So if this is speaking to you, I invite you to continue following me. Share this out. I went to the truth today, short but simple, and it doesn't take a lot to get to the message. It doesn't, because I believe in simplifying the complex here. Clarity, confidence, control, and cash flow. You are closer to the financial life that you want. You're closer than you think. But you got to stop repeating these cycles. You got to repair the root. You got to repair that root, and you know what the root is. You got to address it, and it requires action. If this message spoke to you, still speaking to you, please share it out. Share it with a bestie. Share it with a friend or a colleague. And also, I invite you to take a next step with me. I'll have a link in this post, in this podcast post, for you to book a call with me, to chat with me. Link will be in the show notes. You see, you can't repair what you're holding back. And you can repair what you're holding back. And you can rewrite your financial story. And when you rewrite that financial story, and we support you in that with the right information, right support, and right strategy, then at SOS, as we say, you can build it, you can plan it, build it, and live it with confidence. Plan it, build it, and live it with confidence. I want to thank you for listening today. I want you to take some time and listen to this. What is the root? What needs to be repaired? Repair requires structure. Repair requires clarity. And above all, it requires action. What are the actions that you need to take? Hopefully, one of those actions is to book a call so we can help you to get to that and take you out of these cycles that you keep falling back into again and having to start all over again. The financial life you want is closer than you think when you repair what you keep repeating. I'm Rita Oliver. I'm the money strategist, CEO and president of Strategies, Options, and Solutions. Thank you so much for listening today. And until next time, take care.